Sport bikes are meant for pushing boundaries, and BMW Motorrad is looking to remind you of that with its new HP4 RACE. Faster, lighter, and exceedingly more expensive than any base model S1000RR, this limited production race bike will hit the performance-hungry enthusiasts right where it counts, and 750 willing buyers right in the wallet, too. You probably recognize the HP4 RACE name. That's because BMW already pulled the cover off one at the 2016 EICMA show. If you want to make a splash, you do it there, in Italy, at EICMA, regardless of whether or not the details are finalized. At the time, they weren't. It was initially left open as to how far the advanced prototype reflected what the final motorcycle would look like, BMW said. 5 months removed, we know exactly what the HP4 RACE will look like. And more importantly, what its spec sheet looks like. Think 215 horsepower and a 377 pounds curb weight. Because race bike. Click play to see the 2017 HP4 RACE in action. That 215 horsepower comes courtesy of a factory racing engine that's built by hand and revs to 14,500 revolutions per minute rather than 14,200 revolutions per minute on the standard engine. Intake and exhaust camshafts are new, as is the crankshaft, updated via boreholes in the counterweights for reduced weight, connecting rods, and variable length intake funnels. Pistons and rods are specially selected based on weight, for perfect balance, while BMW has optimized bearing clearances and changed gear ratios in the new, closer ratio transmission, the exception being third gear. Peak power is at 13,900 revolutions per minute, while the inline-4 engine produces a claimed 120 Nm of torque at 10,000 revolutions per minute, which is actually 500 revolutions per minute lower than where a standard S1000RR makes peak torque. The HP4 RACE's main frame is fully carbon fiber, with metal bearing mounts and bolting points that are directly integrated in the carbon manufacturing process. Weight savings: a claimed 8.8 pounds over the aluminum frame on the 2017 RR, with the HP4 RACE's carbon fiber piece weighing in at just 17.2 pounds. A rear frame seat support is made of carbon fiber as well, but whereas the frame was constructed through a resin transfer molding RTM process for optimum stiffness and torsional rigidity, this piece was made through a more conventional hand layup technique with epoxy resin. Through the finished piece, the seat height can be raised or lowered, from 32.7 inches to 32.1 or 33.3 inches. Carbon fiber makes its way down to the wheels. Here, BMW has used a braiding process, which essentially means the entire fabric structure is wrapped by machine in one piece. They are 30% lighter than the forged aluminum wheels, with 40% less gyroscopic force, BMW says. Curious about what all this means in a crash? Don't worry, BMW says that the damage chain in the new HP4 RACE is structured in such a way that the carbon fiber frame and wheels are the last motorcycle components to fail in the event of a fall. Would hate to be the guy to test that. Suspension is meant to keep you on the road, and here BMW has gone all in as well. The bike comes with Öhlins FGR 300 fork, the same used in World Superbike and even Modip, BMW says. Out back, an Öhlins TTX 36 GP shock works on a longer, fully aluminum swinger, the same arm that BMW has used on its World Superbike spec S1000RRs. As you might expect, all of this is adjustable, the end-user Air team being able to adjust the swing arm height, steering head angle, and offset. All this through inserts that will ship alongside each HP4 RACE. Extra sprockets and chains included, in varying sizes and lengths. What doesn't come with it, tech guy? Then again, if you have the money for an HP4 RACE, you've probably got the money to pay someone to come look at it for you and basically do anything that doesn't include riding. For him, BMW has set the HP4 RACE's 2D dashboard up with a mechanics mode, which appears when the bike is idling and displays pertinent information for him. In rider mode, activated when you click to first gear, the display shows things like lap time, traction control setting, engine brake control setting, and more. The 2D data recording system records lap times through GPS, and is designed to be used with additional sensors for things like brake pressure and suspension travel, which you can add separate. Standard electronics include dynamic traction control DTC with an adjustment range of 7 to 7, engine brake EBR with an adjustment range from 7 to 7, and wheelie control, with an adjustment range from level 1 to 5. Each of these systems can be tuned for each gear, meaning that you can, as an example, set the traction control system to intervene in a certain way in first and second gear, but be less restrictive or off in higher gears. Launch control and a pit lane speed limiter are standard equipment, too. Is all of this worth the roughly $87,000 price tag? That's probably a question that doesn't need answering, because the people who have the means for one obviously won't care, and anyone who's not one of those 750 people will just be arguing about it for the sake of arguing. What's worth considering, then, is what this means for the future of BMW's standard S1000RR. Racing is the driving force behind technological advancements, and BMW investing in a project like the HP4 RACE bodes well for the bikes that us less fortunate or less financially well-off folks will be throwing a leg over. I'm not suggesting that we're going to see carbon fiber frames roll off production lines in droves, but maybe the electronic evolution BMW has made here and at the track will trickle down. Or maybe something else that it's learned in the very painstaking process of building a bike like the HP4 RACE will. Crazier things have happened.